football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On 2nd down, here's Penny. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett. Time to peek at the defensive starters. Here they are for Philadelphia. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season. But boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Here's Wilson. And he's got his man on the out route. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Drill's getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Here's Penny on the counter. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A gain of 7, and they pick up the 1st. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
A handoff to Penny, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
He finds his man, Baldwin. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
That's rush coming, and he's taken down. Jordan Hicks coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. 3rd and long, it's Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a 1st down. When you want 3, get a little bit closer, making it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Wentz. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Lawrence. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. Wentz now on first down. This is caught inside the 15. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. And give him a gain of 37. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike. So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
They get it to him running left. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear him now. 3rd and goal. To throw is Wentz. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down. Wentz to throw for it on 4th. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. And he knocks it through. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Leaves it for Petty. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And our attention shifts here to the Seahawks defense. And they gave up a touchdown last drive. You kind of need to hit the reset button after every touchdown given up, Charles.
I love that, and the way that you phrased it is perfect because from series to series, you can reset how the game is going to go. If you gave up a touchdown before, it doesn't mean you have to do it again. And if you made a great play before, you have to reset again anyway because they're going to attack. So I love the way you phrased it and put it out there. That's what they have to do in this series.
Not like when you're playing a video game. You can't hit the reset button here. Let's go.
No, you shouldn't anyway. That's for sure.
Good chip.
On first down, Wentz dancing to his left. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
You don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This is Ajayi, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here's Wentz to throw. And Jeffrey's got it. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They run with Ajayi. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Defensively, the tackle by Cam Chancellor.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to pull one over his head as this game progresses.
Here's Ajayi. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be 3rd down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so, because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Barnett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. They'll run with Darkwa. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the...
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Barkevious Mingo. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. A final shot before half for Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And incomplete on the deep ball. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. It's Pumphrey on the toss. Oh, nice move. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here we go on 4th down with Wentz. And this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Boy, sitting on a 2-score lead at this stage in the game. That punter, he must be pretty lonely over there on the sideline thinking, why in the world was my number not called? Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Derek Barnett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Here's a give to Penny. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 31 yards there and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Where they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. Now a toss play. This is Pumphrey. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Ajayi. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They run again with Ajayi. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. Wentz now to throw. And he connects with Ertz. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. An Eagle first down there. Wentz to Ertz and the names that end in TZ.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. They run with Pumphrey, and he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still second down.
Come on now, Oaks. Come on now. Let's go.
They'll run again with Pumphrey. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On third and long, it's Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete. It was Logan Ryan that time who knocked it away.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And out now come the Seahawks. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A very solid gain of 27. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And his throw is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wilson going to throw again. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Derek Barnett in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
And the pressure gets to him again. Derek Barnett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now Wilson. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs and team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll try to run with Ajayi. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. On 2nd and goal, Ajayi, the lone man in the backfield. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a touchdown run by Jay Ajayi. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game.
Tyler Lockett, the 40, the 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, look at the juke. Got some real estate inside the 30. And down to the 28-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Sunday. Ford Tokyo.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down right around the 25. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. And for 6. And the Eagles add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. On second down, here's Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Wilson. They set up the screen to Penny. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. To throw again is Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. He's got Lockett. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Wentz to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Trying to lay one up deep. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Run, run.
Wentz going to go on 4th down. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted. No